I've reached over 190,000 views talking about my Hermes agent on Reddit. If you don't know me yet, I'm Homer Banked, and I've been obsessed with starting a company for 4 years. And I've tried a lot of stuff: merch, web design, copywriting, and now AI agents and workflows. And here I only show the stuff that actually works. On Reddit, I've been asked many times what my Hermes agent actually does, so I will explain and I'll spare no details. I run 28 cron jobs and over 30 plus skills. No skills were downloaded, they were all created by my Hermes agent. The first cron job is my dreaming, the memory hack. Every night at 3 AM, Hermes reads every single conversation we had. It extracts the decisions made, the projects worked on, bugs chased, people talked to, and the mistakes that should not be repeated. Then it writes a structured summary that gets loaded at the start of every session. That's the key insight, not the summarization itself, but where the output lands, and that it gets reused every time. Before this dreaming, if I coded for 4 hours, then went to bed and woke up the next day, Hermes would completely forget anything about our coding session the last day. Now with this dreaming, Hermes can remember what I've done yesterday. My next skill is an email gatekeeper. Secure inbox filtering through a local LLM. I have 4 email inboxes and 1 local LLM judge that judges every incoming email if it should be forwarded to my Hermes agent, if it is safe to be forwarded to my Hermes agent, or if it should be retained because it has 2-factor authentication or password resets or some critical information in it. Safe emails land in a Telegram topic, and the blocked emails just get marked as blocked email from this and this address. No email touches the external API or my Hermes agent without first being judged and categorized as safe. This is my way of keeping my email inbox safely managed with my Hermes agent and not letting my Hermes agent just go ham in my inbox. The next cron job I'm running is my health coach. Every day at noon, my Hermes agent collects my Whoop data, my Apple Health data, and my food data, which I log via Hermes. From there it gets my recovery score, my strain, my sleep quality, my food, my HRV, and everything I've eaten so far. I've even built my own Hermes gateway where I log all of my food, and that analyzes calories, protein, fats, magnesium through a database. There's also a widget on my lock screen which tells me how much calories and how much protein I've eaten today. This widget was made with the iOS app Scriptable. If you're enjoying this video so far, I promise you will love my newsletter. It's the #1 resource to keep up to date with Hermes, and I promise you I won't spam. My next skill is the study audit. I track every study session in Toggl Track. At 9 PM, Hermes pulls all the information from Toggl Track, groups them by subjects. It tells me what I've studied and how long I've studied, and it also has access to my Notion study plan, so it can tell me if I'm on track or if I'm doing something stupid. And for me personally, as a very bad student, this is super useful. My next tool is my finance tracker. I've created a web application where I put all of my financials in. I've put my fixed costs in them, I've put my salary in them, I've put my net worth in them. I've put everything into that, and Hermes has access to it via an API key. And from these databases, he can pull a weekly or a monthly review. If my spending has increased or decreased, if my saving has increased and decreased, if I made a profit or a loss, all of that. And I've actually just released the commercial version of this Hermes integration on my online shop. The link is in the description if you want to check it out, it's brand new. The next tool I'll be talking about is the Wisdom Vault. Every time I send my Hermes agent an insightful quote or anything that I really want to remember, I tell him to put it in the Wisdom Vault, and he saves it, and then after a week comes back to the Wisdom Vault and then tries to search those parts that I'm really trying to remember. He creates Anki cards for me, which I can save in the Anki app and then hopefully never forget. This is one tool I'm mostly proud of and I'm using on a daily basis. This is the writing improvement tool. So every time I have to write something, I text it to my Hermes agent, and my Hermes agent has a database of all of the content I've ever created, all of my Reddit posts, all of my blog posts, all of the texts I've created, and he then tries to improve my writing with keeping all of my personal writing styles. And if I'm not pleased with the result, I'll just text him, no, that wasn't that great, and I text him what I would want to get as a response from him, and then he will save my improvement and try to improve his system prompt on a weekly basis by all of my suggestions and improvements. The last skill I'll be talking about is a monitoring of my infrastructure. My Hermes Agent monitors all of my digital infrastructure. I own a VPS server, I own my Mac Mini, and I own all of my digital devices, and he has access to many of these devices. He has read access to the VPS, where he can then try to figure out if somebody is hacking the VPS, or if there is an urgent update, or if all of the websites are running. And he can also keep track of the temperatures of this Mac Mini he's running on. He's sometimes using local Llama models to do the email gatekeeping, for example, and then I have to keep the temperatures in check. I'm using the program TG Pro to keep logs of my temperature and also have a faster ramping up of the temperatures. And then I've also cron jobbed a daily status report reporting all of my digital devices. And the biggest improvement I've done over the last weeks has been with memory. I've installed the Mnemosyne. I don't really know how to pronounce that, but that doesn't really matter because it works great. And now my Hermes Agent really remembers all of the things we talked days or weeks ago about. So I'm really pleased with the result, and I can only encourage you to install this memory upgrade. And now I'll talk to you about how I approach building my own skills and how you can do the same. So I'll start off by outlining my goals and all of the complications I see to getting that goal to my Hermes Agent, and then I let him plan an exact plan with steps in between how we will achieve my goal or my skill or my tool. And then I'll have like a digital sparring session with him where I go back and forth iterating and improving on the idea. And if I'm really pleased with the idea and think this will actually work, then I let him do his thing and start building those tools. And I think if everybody of you out there, even if you have never really experienced Hermes or have very little experience, do this structured way of building your skills, your tools, your websites, whatever, everybody can pretty much achieve anything. Anything is possible. You can really vibe code your way to pretty much everywhere. It will take longer and time, and it will have some bugs, but still you will be able to do awesome things. So I highly encourage you to do any of this. And that's the full picture. Those are the most important automations I run with Hermes and stuff that I really run on a daily basis. I'm really open to talking to you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments or write me on Reddit, write me on LinkedIn. I'm very open to talking and I love talking to you guys. So yeah, I'm completely open to it.